Good afternoon. Thank you for staying with SABC News. My name is Diabo Sito. This is Your Money on Market Sense. A little later, I'll bring you SME on Point, where we look at all things small businesses. So this is Women's Month, and women make up 70% of the unemployment of the unemployed people in South Africa, and those that have work earn less than men and don't have any disposable income to invest. Statistics show that around 40% of households are headed by women. Financial advisors have called on women to save as much as they can, and because they are likely to outlive their partners, and should not be afraid to invest in more risky and growth-orientated investments such as equities.
Experts say women need guidance on the type of investment vehicles to choose from in order to grow their money quickly and be able to beat inflation. They've urged women to start saving early to benefit from compound interest and also ensure that the costs of investing are minimal and transparent. Women generally live longer, and diversifying and investing in more risky investment could help them get good returns.
When it comes to diversifying, I think it's an incredibly important investment principle. And what it actually means is that you must invest your money in the right type of investment vehicles to make your money grow at the rate you want it to grow. And the biggest reason why you want to do that is because of inflation. So what is inflation? So if you remember having a conversation with your grandmother, you remember her saying, hey, back in the day, we could get so much for a rand. Think about what you can get for a rand today.
About 40% of households in South Africa are headed by women, and this is one of the factors making it difficult for them to save. But saving as little as you can could make a huge difference, especially if you start early. Those who are married or cohabiting are urged to take charge of their own finances instead of relying solely on their partners.
From a very young age, we are taught that to believe in rescue fantasies. So we believe that a man is going to come, some Prince Charming is going to come, and he's going to save us. So we have learned that no one is coming. So women should really be responsible, empower themselves, and equip themselves with financial knowledge and have financial instruments that will take care of them in the event of unforeseen circumstances.
Only about 6% of South Africans are likely to retire comfortably, and having a pension or provident fund alone might not be enough to ensure that you have sufficient money for your golden years. Having a retirement annuity and other investments such as a tax-free savings and property could help boost your retirement funding. Naledi Matlapeng, SABC News, Johannesburg.
Well, this month we do look all things women, whether it's finances or even, reaching your own summit. This is why we're speaking to Sarah Khumalo, who is the first woman to summit Mount Everest in Africa. And she joins me now via Skype to talk about how women can achieve financial security. Sarah, thank you very much for joining us on Your Money on Market Sense. Do tell us about your journey. I mean, you have experienced, one of the worst winters, at Mount Everest, yet you have conquered. And I know that you always say that the sky is not the limit.
No, indeed it's not, and thank you for having me. It was a tough journey, but one that's achievable like anything else, like where we are today with COVID-19 and the lockdowns and the unemployment rate that is skyrocketing. Everything is possible if you put your mind to it and you go for it effectively.
Yeah. Let's talk about how women can achieve this. What kind of tools and mindset can a woman use in order to achieve financial security and also to go for their other goals, of reaching their own Mount Everest?
I think for me, I'm not a financial advisor. So as an investor, I have goals. I plan for them. I also try and, save up and monitor as I go along. I rely on retirement annuities for long term. So there are short-term goals and long-term goals. If I look at my climbing journey, I'm trying to go to Everest, for example, in 2014. I had to save up for it and achieve it. And it didn't work out. I went back in 2015. I couldn't go in 2016 because I hadn't saved up enough. So like anything else, one is able to target what they need to achieve and monitor as they go along until it's achieved. Short term as well as long term.
You remind me of your story when you say that you've survived some of the harshest winters there, which coincides with how you can run into troubles even when you're trying to save up for things like going on mountain hiking. What kind of mindset did you have, that we could take from you that gave you to go from step to step, even in the harshest of conditions?
I think one as simple as visualize to maximize, I call it, and this is really seeing yourself at the summit and making sure that you focus on that. Also accepting that the unexpected can happen. So yes, I'm saving up for Everest, but if something comes up, is there a kitty that I'm going to be able to use for these curveballs that may come along? But one important thing is always knowing that the summit is definitely on the other side, and there is no need to stop stepping. If you stop, you will never get to the finish line, and that is more important to tell yourself that. More importantly as well is surrounding yourself with the right partners. I've got a financial advisor that guides me in terms of where I need to go based on the goals that I have. It's important to have the right people with you as you get to your summit, whatever that summit is.
One of my favorite slogans from you is that the sky is not the limit. Why do you think that we are raised thinking that the sky is the limit?
Oh, that's my mother used to say that the sky is the limit, and I got to Everest and I realized that it was really, the clouds were beneath me and I was above the skies, at least what we see when we are down here. I think it just limits our thinking. It's almost like the optimal is there and I can see it. But if you change your mind and see that you are limitless, you are unstoppable, you'll be able to surprise even yourself. I have been able to do that. And that's why I've changed to say the sky isn't the limit. I can go above the clouds and everybody else can.
Many people talk about how we should not compare our races to other women, or as a flower, don't look at the next flower and how it's blooming. You should be running your own race. I'm sure you agree with that too.
Absolutely. I agree with that. There'll always be somebody that's doing better according to what you think. But also it's important to be satisfied and stay in your own truth, because you don't know their circumstances and they don't know yours.
Yeah.
You may actually limit yourself because you're seeing people that, are ending up on base camp, and yet you are capable of going all the way to the summit. And why you stopped at base camp is because your neighbor did. You can do a lot more because you are uniquely extraordinary as an individual, and only you can do as best as you can.
Sarah Khumalo, thank you so much for sharing your journey with us and the tips that take you from one step to the next. We do wish you a happy Women's Month. Thank you for joining us on SABC News.
Thank you for having me.
That's Sarah Khumalo, and she was talking to us about, what mindset she uses in order to summit Mount Everest. She's one of the first Black women in Africa to summit Mount Everest.